Welcome back to the weekly InSalt, episode 302, the first episode of 2024.
Yay.
Yeah, we did it. Mm-hmm. We survived the holidays.
Barely,
yeah. You're telling me. I don't know, the holidays, as you get older, I mean, for me, being single, and I just go down and hang out with my family. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't really have to stress too much about it.
I hang out with my couch.
Yeah, it's a good place to spend the holidays.
Hold it down, keep it from going anywhere.
Right, yeah.
You don't even hang out with your family?
Well, I did for a little bit. Yeah, I had breakfast with the kids. But,
yeah, yeah. See, that makes sense.
That was it. Hour and a half done.
Yeah.
Couch.
I don't think I can handle those big, gatherings. You know what I mean? Like a family with a bunch of grandchildren. There's 30 people at the house. You're cooking for 3 days.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breakfast done.
What'd you do for the holidays, Chiz?
Just spend time with the family here, so fairly relaxing.
Yeah. What do you usually eat on Christmas?
Yeah, it varies from year to year.
Shrimp cocktail?
Some years, yes. Because usually on Christmas Eve, we'll do crab legs for dinner.
Oh, okay.
But we actually pushed that to New Year's Eve this year.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Crab legs, I can see that's fancy.
Yeah, we did a huge crab boil over at some friends.
Yeah.
Crab and shrimp boil.
That seemed like it looked
prime
delicious.
rib. It was so good.
Curt, how was your holiday, man?
It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of pseudo-introduced everybody. My name's Wade. Lara's here.
Hey.
Ches is here, as you heard.
Yep. Ches.
The dictator of sound.
Yep.
Curt.
Yeah.
The grand poobah.
You have to come up with a different title every week for him.
I know. Lara was going to write the list.
I was supposed to make a list.
Yeah.
I can't write, though.
You can write with your left hand, but just not very well.
I can't write. No, not well at all.
I think that'd make it even more funny. I've got a list of things for Curt, but I can't read it.
Nobody can read it.
Yeah, your hand's got to be doing a little bit better.
It is. Yeah. 4 weeks in from surgery.
Yeah,
started therapy, hand therapy, not brain therapy. Head therapy.
Yeah, what's wrong in your head?
Started hand therapy Friday.
Yeah.
4 more weeks of that, and hopefully I can get back to work. Getting bored.
Yeah, it's like now you've got a taste of retirement, you know? It's like...
Yeah, so it's kind of like, am I bored enough that I don't want to retire, or am I ready?
Yeah,
I'm not ready financially, so yeah.
True.
Still got a few more years in me.
And then New Year's, was great. I never go out anywhere. I try not to go out anywhere on New Year's just because it's Utah. And there's every single
drunk
police
drivers.
officer. Yeah, there's dumb other people out there. Mm-hmm. Obviously not the people that listen to this show. Thanks for being such good listeners. But along with New Year's, a lot of times comes New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about New Year's resolutions?
I don't.
Why not?
Because I can't keep them.
Okay, so you just have given up on attempting it? Okay. What about you?
My resolution is not to make a resolution.
I think if you want to change something in your life, you should just do it because you want to, whenever, right? Not on a specific day of year.
Why does it have to be a new year for you to get motivated? Which I think is a common thing. People say, "Oh, I'm going to go to bed earlier. I'm going to go to the gym." That's everybody talks about.
I have not been motivated by a new year since early 2020, so
Yeah, I can see that. Curt, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I don't know. Make more money, I guess.
Oh, okay. I think everybody can relate to that one, especially now with inflation.
Yeah.
Going through not like inflation is a new thing. It's been happening forever.
Maybe start a side hustle or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I think that's a good one. My New Year's resolution is to try and go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
But
get more rest then?
Yeah, just, feel like I'm prepared for the day. It's easy to not do that. But I also think New Year's resolutions are silly.
I think they're silly too.
And I think it's crazy that we have data from the market to back up the fact that people suck at making New Year's resolutions.
They absolutely do.
Like the gyms, they love it. It's like what did you say the other night? It's like Black Friday for the gym.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How much money do they make in that month and then people cancel?
January 1st, they're like, New Year's Day, I bet the gyms are like, we're open. You bet your ass we're open, and we're going to run a special.
Yeah.
Like $10 for January, but a 2-year contract. Yeah. And you know what happens? It happens with everything. It happens with people that drink. They say, I'm going to drink less. And then, the bars are empty for... I was talking to a bartender about this. They were like, the bars will be dead for about 6 days.
Yeah.
And then they're back to normal.
Everyone gives up on dry January after 6 days.
But I thought it was funny that it's 6 days. So you don't even make it a week.
No, not even a week.
But at least 6 days, I guess, is better than nothing, right? I don't know. I think that New Year's resolutions, if that helps somebody stick to a commitment, good for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not for me. I'm just going to try and, like you said, it's just try to do better when you can.
Do better. Yeah. Yeah, I want to quit smoking, get more sleep, lose a little bit of weight. But I don't need New Year's to do that.
Laura just describes like 99% of what everybody wants to do all the time. Eat less candy.
I don't eat a lot of candy.
I don't
so.
either. I've actually...
It's like a Wheel of Fortune RSTLNE.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. Dude, I wonder how many people listening
I'll pick 3 new ones.
Yeah. I wonder how many people got that. That's funny. I just think that I think that New Year's resolutions are a reminder of like motivation. And then they kind of beat you down, though. Because
I was going to say, motivation or depression.
Lack of motivation. Yeah, because it reminds you that like you're like most of us are not that good at motivating ourselves to change for the better. But we all get comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Is it comfort or laziness?
I think it's a combination of both because the world is so busy all the time. If you think about it, like working all day, like just us in particular, we have full-time jobs. We do the podcast on the side. There's a lot of work behind the scenes for the podcast that goes on. And so sometimes when I just want a day where I don't want to talk to anybody, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like I just want to veg out on the couch.
I know. There's people that can't be like alone on their couch all day.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. Me and my couch have a thing.
It kind of comes in waves for me. And I think on episode 300, there's a good example of it for all of us, is we did almost a 3-hour show that day. And when we ended here, I think we immediately all forgot about the pod. As soon as it was over with, we were like, okay.
That was
I'm
a
tired.
long week, though.
Yeah, it was.
Because we did three
episodes that week.
And then that one was a 3-hour.
Yeah,
that was a tough week. Mm-hmm.
But
it was
by
nice
the time we were done, I didn't want to talk to anybody.
I didn't either, and it was nice to have those few weeks off. So
it was, yeah. It was nice to have a couple weeks off. We came up with some ideas. We talked as a team. We've got some awesome things coming up this year. Maybe we'll do a live show this year. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
No, I'm taking the maybe out of that.
Do you want to do a live show this year?
We're going to do a live show.
We're doing it this year.
We're doing it this year.
Do you have a date in mind?
Before
New
December
Year's
31st. Yeah.
Is that a resolution?
Well, I know that the guys from the Pearl are listening, so we'll do a live show. And I just now realized I don't have an ad read for them today, but yeah, check out the Pearl on Main. They sponsor us.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Well, we'll be able to figure it out here in the next couple of months.
Actually, he did mention to me that they didn't have anything up yet. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know that they've been booked out quite a bit, which is good. We had them, go back and listen to 300. We talked to Taylor.
Yeah, and they had Mike Lookingland again on New Year's Eve. Yeah.
So his band played again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is some very exciting news that I think everybody who's ever thought about video games knows of the game Tetris.
Yes. I saw this.
You know the game Tetris?
Yeah, I know where you're going. I saw this. This is cool.
Just recently, within the last 2 weeks, I think, somebody finally beat Tetris. It was a 13-year-old.
Well,
really?
I don't know if
what do you mean
beat it.
Well, so what they determine as beating the game is that you played it to a level so high that it crashed the game.
It broke the game.
Did it? Yeah. That's cool. A 13-year-old.
13-year-old did it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then I think just recently after him, 2 other people were able to do it. But it's taken, I think, like
34 years or something.
Yeah, like
for somebody
years.
to break it.
Yeah. So now we know. I wonder what that means for the community where they get together every year and they try to get the new high score. Because now you know there's a limit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're working on fixing that problem.
I'm sure they will fix it.
Getting it faster, and it's going to be the next thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or maybe they'll release the same version of Tetris, but it just doesn't have that problem anymore. Mm-hmm. They can't do that, though. Because you can only compete on the original, right?
Yeah, I would say yes. There'd have to be a whole new record on a new...
Dude, I guarantee that everybody in this room knows the Tetris song.
No.
I can't hum it, but I can hear it in my...
Bring up the Tetris song.
I'm not a big Tetris fan, so I think it...
When you hear it, you'll know. You'll be like, oh, yeah.
I can get past the first few levels, and then I hate that game.
Yeah. I used to be able to get pretty far. I mean, I think my record was over 200 lines.
It's totally Russian-themed.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see the Tetris movie. Have you guys seen that?
There's a movie.
Yeah. It's about the guy that made Tetris.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's more of a documentary.
Actually, it's recent, isn't it?
You ready? It's pretty new.
Yeah. Oh, it's an annoying tune.
Well, they only had so much.
It sounds a little bit like Pac-Man, a little bit.
Yeah.
And Zelda.
It sounds a little bit like Zelda too. How annoying would our podcast become if we just played this as the background music for the whole show?
No.
Well, then as we get closer to the end, it starts getting faster and faster. How it does.
Dude, that's a sick idea for a gaming podcast. If you're listening and you're a gaming podcast, steal that idea.
Just give us a little bit of credit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Hey, we heard about this idea from these guys.
Mm-hmm. But I thought that was interesting that it took that long for somebody to finally break the game. And this is a game that's like got a cult following, you know, like people have come up with techniques where they have changed the way they hold a NES controller so that you can play quicker. It's crazy, dude. The professional
like
people,
spinning them around and figuring out where to fit them.
Like, you know how you normally hold a controller, a regular NES controller. They like flip it around, put it on their lap, and then they found out that you can. There's a different way of like you can use your fingers to like hit the bottom of the controller, and it allows you to tap the buttons quicker to switch the pieces. Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I never liked Tetris.
Who figured that out?
People that like literally have built careers out of making money from Tetris competitions.
Yeah, it's like those guys that do the speed runs on like Super Mario Brothers and like no coins, like fewest points type deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a whole speedrunning community. There's a website you can go to see who's finished what games the fastest. You know, I think they recently just found out how to beat. I think it's the like Super Mario Brothers 2 in 40 seconds.
That's so stupid.
What?
That's ridiculous.
They basically found out that if you have Yoshi and you try to eat a mushroom, but when you jump on the mushroom at the same time, it turns into this other character, and Yoshi can't eat that character, and so it does a bunch of processing in the back, and then it ends up sending you to the credit screen.
So again, they broke the game.
Yeah,
would those be considered like Easter eggs?
I think that's more of like a glitch.
So you're not playing the game, you're cheating.
Well, like a speed run would be, if you want to do a no glitch speed run, you can't use that. But with a glitch speed run, you can. So 40 seconds.
Doesn't that take away from playing the game, like the fun of it?
Yeah, but I think if you're a speadrunner, you've played it so much that you're just
it's a new fun.
Yeah,
a new fun.
New type of fun. Not for me.
No.
I have a hard time just beating a game one time these days. You know, I've got other things to do.
Yeah, I can remember the first time I beat Super Mario Brothers, the original.
I never beat the original because as a kid, I didn't realize that I realized that the level was repeating itself on Bowser's Castle, but I never figured out the pattern. I just don't think
my favorite was Donkey Kong. I could play that game with my eyes closed.
Dude, people love Donkey Kong.
I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Well, I had to beat it before I could get a new game.
Oh, that was the rule.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I beat it.
Your parents really didn't want to buy you video games.
It's like I got home from school one day and I'm playing and I beat it and I left it on pause until my parents got home. I could show them that, look,
And legend has it.
So what was the game that you bought then?
I don't even remember.
But legend has it your Nintendo's still paused on Ninja Turtles 1.
Yeah.
That game was fucked up.
Actually, I think me and my friends actually did beat that game.
That and like Battletoads, they had the impossible level that you couldn't beat. And I tried forever as a kid, and it would make me so mad. I imagine that's where like your rage kind of stemmed from, Curt, as a child when you were trying to beat those like games like Battletoads and Turtles. It's just like I'm gonna throw this shit right out the window.
Okay,
and I raged.
Did you ever play Bubble Bobble?
I love Bubble Bobble, dude. I'd play it right now if we had it.
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, Bubble.
I've got it. I've got the SCN, the classic.
Yeah,
and it's got
Bubble Bobble ruled, dude.
Yes.
Will you pull up a video of Bubble Bobble?
Yeah, what's the object of Bubble Bobble?
So it's kind of like
you're this little creature and you shoot bubbles and it captures other creatures and then you're able to
you pop the bubbles and then you get points for that.
Yeah, and you're trying to.
And then once you clear all the enemies, you go on to a different level that's different layout and stuff, and then you have different types of creatures. We'll show you the video. It's cool.
So it can be like a 2-player co-op game.
Yeah, that was, I think, the best part of playing with a friend. But didn't you get like hurt because I think your characters had spikes on their back, right?
I think so, but I don't think you could hurt each other.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I remember.
I think friendly fire was turned off.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Friendly fire.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude! Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bubble.
Look at that. It reminds me of Double Dribble, but the sound quality was so bad. It was like Bubble Bibble.
Double Dribble.
Just like skip ahead.
Oh, you have to insert a coin first. Oh,
no. Oh, I thought I had music too. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So it looks like Pac-Man.
It kind of is similar. And then they also drop fruit.
And you're like,
This reminds me of Dig Dug.
Yeah, kind of. Dude, what a catchy song, though, dude.
Oh, did you put one in a bubble?
Yeah, then you run into the bubble and pop it.
Pop it.
This looks like shit.
Oh, there are words you had to spell.
Oh, yeah, some of the characters would drop a letter or something. You know what? It kind of reminds me of a combination of...
I would have thrown this game in the garbage.
Oh, no, it gets so much fun.
Oh, it's fun as shit.
I would have thrown this shit away. I mean, even as a kid, I would have thrown this away.
Why?
Fuck this.
But as a kid, you didn't have anything better graphics than this. This was the best you could get.
Sure, I get that, and I understand that.
What would you play on NES then?
The original Nintendo?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You spelled Nintendo with them.
Yeah, you're right. You do.
I was playing Contra.
Okay, I liked Contra, except I hated playing with my friends because they'd steal your lives, dude.
But Contra was... Yeah, that was a
You
Nintendo.
can pause the video. I think that we're driving the listeners nuts.
Yeah. It's driving me nuts.
I'm going to go home and play Bubble Bobble.
I have never seen that game before.
I think that you would love Bubble Bobble.
Yeah?
Yeah. It seems like a Lara type of game. Where
I can see that, yeah.
Like, I could see, like, you as a kid.
I was
Like,
playing
your parents being
Contra.
like, turn off Bubble Bobble, Lara.
Yeah, I was playing Contra and Double Dragon.
Double Dragon was cool.
Double Dragon 2 is the best.
I like
Double
Raging
Dragon 3
Rabbits.
sucked.
Double Dragon 3 did suck. Yeah.
I like the Raging Rabbids.
I don't remember that. What is that?
It's... I think that is not an original. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. There's a lot
Look it
of
up.
obscure games, though. Raging Rabbits?
I think it's... There it is. Raving... Oh, it's Raving Rabbids.
Raving?
Yeah, we just found a crazy meme that I don't know if I want to get into.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
Rabbids and... What is it? Invasion? Oh, geez. This is
Yeah, they have several versions. It was
2
fun.
hours of that shit?
Dude,
Wow.
I beat that game
Don't-
multiple times.
Nintendo Raving... Was it Nintendo game or was
It's
it...
I think
Oh,
it was.
maybe it was.
It was Nintendo, yeah.
Maybe that was what it is. I think the third
I don't see
one...
anything on here that would be Nintendo worthy.
It must have been like not the NES.
Yeah, Rayman.
Rabbids Party of Legends, the fourth one down?
Yeah, it's a Rayman game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so it was like N64.
Yeah, we were talking about regular Nintendo, though.
Yeah, we were.
I know, but
But
we're
we
also
just
talking about games.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to do dances and capture things and kill
You still to
things.
this day like Rayman, and I think that they do a great job at building those games. Yeah.
Oh, Life Force. Oh, that was on Sega.
See, I was always a Sega guy. All of my other friends were going down the Sony path or the Nintendo path and everything else. I had Sega Genesis.
The only good game on Sega Genesis was Sonic.
Bullshit, dude.
So
Have you
that's
ever-
what this sort of
at the end
reminds
where
me
you,
of
where you
is
have
Sonic.
to fight the end brain with the...
I don't remember this.
The end
I kind
brain.
of do remember this.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Click, yeah, like skip to the middle of the video. Life Force, Konami. Okay, very renowned publisher. Oh, but this is like a
looks
shooter thing.
Yeah, what's that one?
It's a space shooter, yeah.
See, I would have thrown this shit out the window.
No, this was awesome. Me and
The
my
music,
brother,
the
me and my
soundtrack,
brother
though,
argued over this shit.
the soundtrack is
funny.
kind of fire though.
Oh, yeah.
What was the other game, though? Maybe this is the one I'm thinking of.
Battle...
It
what
was
the
similar to
other one?
this.
Battle something? Battle Galaxy, or what am I thinking of?
I don't know. They're Battle Toads.
What? No, where they go across and then they come down.
Oh,
like
you're Space
this.
Invaders.
Space
Yeah.
Invaders,
Yeah.
yeah. Nobody can see me do this, but you guys.
Oh, I'm sure that the listeners understood when you said they come across the screen and go like this. They know exactly.
Yeah.
See, this is a top-down view, but it changed into different directions.
Oh, okay. You know, there were a lot of
this
shitty
shit.
things that happened in video gaming around that time because they were trying to innovate so much. Like, I remember when Sega released the Sega CD. What a shitty console. The Sega CD, I had one for a little while.
Dude, this was the best level right here in Life Force.
So let me explain to the listener what this is. This is a level that has like red they look like hairy fur balls flying around, and you're killing birds.
Yeah, but then they do these solar flares.
Well, that's
I was
what
going to say they look like they're sunbirds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're like phoenixes.
Dude, but back in the day with graphics like this, those solar flares probably blew your mind. You know, you're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to find where the brain is.
It's got to be at the very end. Very end of the video if it's the final brain. Now we're just...
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the very end. It's the final boss.
I looked. It wasn't there.
If you guys ever want to laugh really hard, though, I'm telling you to just go on YouTube and look up Sega CD. The reason why that became so cool is because you could put live video on the CD now, and so you could play an actual video. So they came out with a Terminator game where they would take clips from the movie, but they were so out of place with the graphics that it was like so dumb to watch.
The end brain.
Is this the brain?
Yeah, this is the end brain.
Why is it at the beginning of the videos? Like
I don't know, because maybe it's not the end of the game.
Oh, it's just the end of the boss, or the boss level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I love that Kurt's so stoked about this.
Well, this eyeball that pops out of the front of this thing is... You're like, this thing fades in from the shittiest graphics.
It does, yeah, it is pretty shit. And then it's a brain.
Oh, it's turning into a brain now.
Yes, like all the bricks around it, everything are just disappearing.
Where's
And
the
now
eyeball?
she's got this giant brain.
It's right.
Oh,
we got these arms with the eyes on it.
Oh my God, that's dorky.
How else were you going to do it in graphics?
Come on, here it comes. And you got to shoot the eyeball.
This would enrage me.
There's the eyeball.
Oh, and that was it? That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Like 3 shots to the eyeball and he's done.
Well, how many shots to the eyeball do you think you're going to take?
I don't know, man. But
Depends on your aim.
Depends on how. Yeah, it's true. I just remember that playing Contra was always a thing. Like you had to be very careful when you were young and playing Contra with your friends because that game you shared extra lives. And so if your buddy sucked, he'd eat up all the extra lives. So if you lost because your buddy, you'd be mad as hell.
And you didn't talk for a week.
Oh yeah, there was friend group arguments for months over Contra.
Do you remember that time?
Yeah. And everybody still remembers the cheat code on the title.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Up, up, down, down. You know how it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Left, right, A, B.
Select star. Yeah.
Now you got 30
Is that the first thing that you looked up when you got a new game?
The cheat codes? No,
Yeah.
I had a Game Genie.
The Game Genie's a whole different conversation.
Well,
What's a Game
finding
Genie?
cheats back then were so much harder.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe that this sucked up like hundreds of hours of my childhood?
Oh yeah, mine too.
They basically all look alike.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you know why, right? Because the technical limitations
yeah.
only allowed for like 8 bits.
Yeah.
And so you could only have a certain number of colors with a certain number. And they got really creative with the ways that they did games. They would like hide files in certain places to get extra. Like that was the way that you got ahead of your competition, you know? And then everything changed when the Game Boy came out, you know, all over again.
Well, then you got so then you went from the SN or the regular Nintendo Nintendo Entertainment System at 8-bit. Then you went to the Super Nintendo at 16-bit.
16-bit, yeah. And then Sega Genesis had the 32-bit extension you could put in.
And then Nintendo went straight to 64.
Yeah. That's why it's N64, 64-bit.
And when did the Xbox come out?
Well, after the Nintendo became the GameCube, and then I think after the GameCube was like
had to have been 99, 2000?
Yeah.
Would be my guess for the original
like
Xbox.
Let's look it up.
And who doesn't love the Wii?
Me.
Dude.
I loved it.
The best game ever
Bowling.
for the Wii? Nah. Cooking Mama. Best game ever.
What?
Yeah. You'd compete with your friends, like you'd hold the Wiimote since that was the first console to have like you can move it around. So there was a game where it'd be 4 players and all it is a frying pan. It would drop like a pat of butter in there and then you'd have to coat the whole pan with butter. It was crazy, dude. If you just look up Cooking Mama, you'll find a million things. It's the best.
I loved Wii bowling. We played and
it was
golf.
fun,
We
too.
played it
I
all
think
the time.
Everybody played that.
Yeah, Wii bowling was fun.
Did you ever get a
tennis was
300?
kind of bullshit.
Perfect score in Wii bowling?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
Plenty
everybody
of times.
had to do that. Just got Contra sounds in the back. When did the Xbox come out? Let's look.
You said what?
I'm looking when the release date of the Xbox was 2001.
2001.
Yeah, November 15th, 2001.
PlayStation then came out 99-ish, 98.
We don't really need the contra sounds.
Yes, we do.
I think at this point, Kurt's just watching the contra.
Yeah,
it's making Curt happy. So
okay, well, yeah, we'll leave
he's quit being the sound guy for a minute. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Come on, we only got 5 minutes to the break.
Somebody's like throwing their AirPods across the room. Right I'm not listening to contra sounds for 5 minutes.
I just got over this addiction. I'm not getting back into it.
It took me 35 years.
This is good memories for me.
Yeah, I agree. This is for me too. This is the level now where the rocks fall out of the holes. Like, your friends would die on those all the time, mm-hmm. and you just rage because you're like, dude, what? The rock's in the same place every time we play. You can't avoid the rock.
Sorry, listeners. We will not do this when we come back from break.
Yeah, we will. We're doing a whole video game episode to kick off 2024. Yeah. You know what we will do, though, for the last 5 minutes is we got to bring up the fact that, like, when you get to know your friends and you get to know them really well, you kind of learn, kind of how they talk all the time, and then every now and then you get really surprised by, like, when somebody just starts spitting out jargon that they never use. Mm-hmm. We show up at the bar today and Laura's like, yeah, the 49ers just clinched a spot for the playoffs, and then the Packers are still in the hunt, but then we've got some people outside the bubble too. And I'm like, who are you?
Apparently Laura was just watching Sports Center.
I used to be that enthralled into sports.
I know. I'm kind of pissed at myself for not placing a bet on the Lions when I was out in Wendover. So.
Yeah, so we did make predictions on the NFL. Yeah. I don't have one, but I agree with Kurt's.
Nah.
Oh, the Chiefs and the 49ers?
I think that could happen.
I think it's going to be the Chiefs-Lions.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift and Kels.
So your theory is not because of the teams, they're just money grabbing.
Yeah, it's just money.
Swift.
Yeah. So Lions aren't going to get a go.
That might be illegal. Isn't that illegal?
Yeah, but nobody needs to know
You own the
about
company.
that.
What's legal and what's not?
Yeah, Lions don't get to go.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
It's already been proven.
What do you mean proven?
I think they're winning right now.
Yeah, that's how I was just going to look.
But
because if they win today, they clinch.
But they should have already clinched with the over the Cowboys.
Somebody's going to start this episode like right now.
Oh, that's true.
But no, they're going to start the episode right now where we're talking about football and there's contra sounds in the background. It's not going to make sense to anybody.
Yeah, the Lions are leading.
Since when did we ever make sense to anything?
I think that's fair. Yeah. The Lions are still up. Yeah.
Yeah, 13-6.
But by the time this comes out on Wednesday, it's not going to matter anyway.
That's true. Yes, but that's my prediction. Lions take the Super Bowl.
All right.
Just because the Lions win today doesn't mean anything.
Do we know who's performing for the Super Bowl? Halftime show?
Contra.
It's somebody awful.
It's somebody awful?
Yeah, it's okay. I definitely won't be watching that one.
Somebody awful, like Kanye West.
Dude.
No, Kanye would be a step up.
Halftime show. Who is it going to be? Who's performing the half? Oh, it's Usher.
Oh.
I like Usher.
Oh, man. Super Bowl shows have fallen off, man.
They really have.
You remember, I was telling these guys earlier, my favorite Super Bowl halftime show was the one with 50 Cent in it, when they had like all the houses cut in half and he was hanging upside down. But you could tell that they were like, all right, 50, you got to get in position. We're coming back from commercial. But it was still like 30 or 45 seconds before his time to get off of hanging upside down happened. So by the time he got down, he looked like he's going to pass out. It's hilarious.
I think the best halftime ever was Prince performing Purple Rain in their Purple Rain.
What?
It was raining and all the lights, everything, it made the rain look purple.
Oh, shit. That is
so it was
crazy.
Like pouring rain, and he's out there doing Purple Rain in like Purple Rain.
All right, well,
I
think I'll save the listeners from our ears, and we'll take a quick break so that we don't have to listen to contra sounds anymore.
All right.
We'll be right back. We're back. Weekly InSalt. It might sound a little bit different because there's no contra noises.
Yay.
Even though they just heard a contra noise during the silence. I did that on purpose. You recently went to Wendover.
I did.
How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah?
It was fun.
Is it as fun as it used to be? Or do you think it's gotten less fun?
No, it's always fun. I'm a gambler, though, so.
Yeah, but I mean, when I used to go there, I thought it was a lot of fun. And I think as I've gotten older, it's just not as much fun as I remember.
So we stayed at the Nugget, and it was like super dead. And then walked across the street to Montego, and it was packed. It was like super different experiences. But I did get a little bit of food poisoning when I was out there, so that kind of sucked. My specific reason for driving out there in the snow on a whim was to go place a bet on the MLB.
Yeah, yeah.
A long shot bet.
You guys, if you're a long-time listener to the podcast, you'll know that last MLB season, I didn't place a bet for Laura or Zach, our friend Zach. He's been on the show. And who was it? Who was the team that you guys had?
Was it the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, Diamondbacks,
the Diamondbacks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no big deal, right? I didn't go to Mesquite. I didn't place the bet. No, nobody's going to care.
And it was such a long shot bet, too.
Yeah, what are the chances they're going to win? And then they made it, basically.
They didn't win, but they made it all the way.
But they made it the whole way. It would have sucked if they won.
Yeah. So this year I placed a bet on the Royals. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you think that Taste Swift Love's going to move over to the Royals?
Maybe. Her and Travis Kelce break up and she goes dates a baseball player from Now she's in the scene, But when I always have a hard time going to Wendover because usually the on the whim thing is always at the worst time to make that decision. I think everybody's done that lives in Utah. Let's go to Wendover. It's 11:30 p.m. I know.
We should go. Never closes.
Yeah. It's like no,
and we've been
shouldn't.
Drinking. The stupidest idea is to go to.
We'll just get a lot of water. Yeah, and that road out there always has highway patrol.
Yeah,
you just got to be safe.
Well, we caught weather most of the way. We got about halfway and it cleared up. So
snow on the way out.
Yeah,
that's a gnarly stretch of road.
And I don't know if it was blowing this storm in, but it was windy as hell driving back.
Yeah,
windy.
It got really windy yesterday in the valley too.
Yeah.
Now we have snow.
We do.
Which I don't know. What's the Wendover story that you got, Ches? Did you ever go out to Wendover?
Oh yeah, I've been to Wendover many times.
Yeah. What's your favorite Wendover story?
Probably the best was I had a couple actually. First was I went out for my 21st birthday.
Okay.
My mom took me to Wendover for my 21st birthday.
I bet that was wild.
That was fun. So we're sitting at one of the tables and we were winding down the day, so I'd been there all day. We're talking to the dealer. My mom's like, today's his 21st birthday, and he hasn't even been ID'd yet.
Yeah, that's funny.
So the dealer's like, okay, let me see your ID. So I hand over, my ID. Oh, happy birthday, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're playing 3-card poker.
Or 3-card.
No, sorry, we're playing Let It Ride poker.
Love Let It Ride too.
So I look at my hand. I got a pair of 7s. And I'm like, I'm fighting myself. Like, should I let this ride one time and see what the dealer's first card is? So no. I hesitated, and I brought my first bet back. So it goes through, the dealer flips over their card. It's a 7.
Oh, shit.
So now I've got 3 of a kind. So now it's like, yep, I'm letting it ride.
Yep.
So it goes through everybody. Dealer flips over their last card. It's the 4th 7.
Oh, no way.
So,
from that moment on, he was addicted.
So that one pulled back bet cost me like $250.
Yeah. But you still won.
But exactly, I still won.
Yeah.
So.
That's the thing about gambling is you always think about I think it's easier to think about the bets you should have made.
Yeah.
Than the bets you actually did make.
Yeah.
And then I had another time with Randy. He's been on the show a few times. He's like, Kate, we're going to Wendover. We're going to go out and place bets on the Monday Night Football game. I'm like, I really got this other stuff I got to do. He's like, no, come on. You got to come with us. So I'm like, I reluctantly went. Went out there. We placed our bets. Go grab beer to bring back to Salt Lake. And we're sitting just in the sports book playing draw poker, watching the football game. And all of a sudden, every alarm and everything's going off in this casino. And lights are flashing in my face. My buddy next to me is like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I've got to get a chance so I can see everything at once, see what happens. I hit a royal flush on a progressive draw poker machine.
Dude, nice.
There goes all your luck for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
How much did that get you?
It was like $1,300.
That's still.
Yeah. So then then I bought dinner for everybody and
spent it all.
I spent a few $100s there. But
do you guys know the history of Wendover? Like Wendover has to exist so that people from Utah can go gamble.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know the history. I do know enough that part of the atomic bomb was staged there.
Okay, that's kind of sick.
I don't know all the details, but I know that the atomic bomb has ties to Wendover.
Curt, do you have any Wendover stories?
No.
Do you like Wendover?
Yeah, it's fun, but I just lose all the time.
Yeah, I mean, You and I have really bad luck when it comes to gambling, especially in like
the craziest story I have in Wendover was the last time I went, and sitting in Montego playing blackjack. All of the lights went out.
Oh yeah, cool.
All the
power
slot
outage?
machine. Yeah, it was a power outage. It was so crazy. And like, what do? You're sitting there. You have money on the table. Like people have money in the slot machines.
Yeah.
Every table is packed.
I bet that's a nightmare.
And it was for a bit of time too.
So, and then later on, they didn't announce that they got millions of dollars stolen from them.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Like Ocean's 11 shit right there.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, like a heist. There's a friend of mine that went to Wendover, and he was telling me the best story. They were in Wendover. They got pretty drunk, and one of the friends, they were walking out, leaving, and there was what my buddy knew they were police officers, but the friend he was with was really drunk. And instead of realizing they're police officers, because the patches are different in Wendover, like if you see a officer in Utah, you know right away because we live here. But he hits the guy right on the chest. This is this little short guy, and he hits him, backhands him in the chest, and goes, "Oh yeah, why don't you become a real cop?" And the dude's like, "Oh no!" And then he was with a really like a bigger cop, and my buddy's like, "No, I got him. You don't got to do anything." And he was like, "You better get him out of here right now." But it's like, how ballsy do you have to be to slap a cop on the chest and be like, "Oh yeah, don't you wish you were a real cop?" Oh.
Okay, here's the history. The town was established in 1908 as a station stop on the Western Pacific Railroad, which
Makes
was then
sense.
under construction, and the transcontinental telephone line was completed as workers raised the final pole at Wendover, Utah in June 1914.
So like anything else, it was a strategic town.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So that tells you, how much harder it is to build something coming from the West Coast than it is from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Where we got the Golden Spike here, and then Wendover, 100 miles away is where the
And that was the final pole after 3,400 miles of telephone line construction.
People got to talk. Speaking of the Golden Spike and the telephone poles, monuments, if you will, people are officially running marathons around the whale.
Oh, yes, they are. Yeah.
I think I was reading somewhere it's like 360 something laps around the whale to be
Let's see if
classified.
I know
as a
I had that
marathon.
one time. So
this was posted on Reddit, like all of the weird, interesting facts are, and they were like, "Is this a thing in Utah? Do people run around the whale?" And the first comment was, "Why do you think we got snow and the inversion went away? People were running around the whale." All praise the whale, of course.
So gaming didn't start until 1931.
Okay.
That's when gambling became legal again in Nevada after it was outlawed in 1910.
Huh.
Another interesting
The more you know.
fact.
We still haven't gone down and seen the whale. We need to make a trip.
Yeah. And it was the test site and training site for the atomic bomb.
Curt, you hate the whale, right?
I do. I think
You absolutely despise it.
I think it's pointless.
it's just art. What else are you going to put in the middle of a roundabout?
Yeah,
Curt, what would you put in the middle of a roundabout then?
I don't know, like a big engine or something.
I wouldn't even build roundabouts. They're stupid.
They're actually really good for traffic.
I know
But
they
the
are, but
problem
they're still
is that
stupid.
people don't know how to drive in
Yeah.
roundabouts.
Are they stupid or just the people stupid?
Maybe it's the people that are
Yeah.
stupid. But yeah.
Well, you go to Europe and the Europeans come here. They're like, "Where's the roundabout? Why have you just got a four-way intersection?"
Yeah, because we love sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think Utah is ranked #1 in road rage throughout the United
it?
States. I think we had more road rage incidents last year than anywhere else. And you know what my theory is on that? Is that I think when a lot of people get into a car, it kind of like cuts you off from your surroundings. Yeah, you're driving with other drivers on the road, but in your car, it's just isolated. You're just there by yourself, so you don't really care. It's easy to yell at other people from your car. You know what I mean? Like, but then when you're walking by them on the street, you're like, "Hey, what up?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Arizona is the top of the list.
Okay. Well, it depends on when the list was written. I'm just saying.
September of 23.
Okay. Well, the December list says Utah. I'm also just like pulling this out of my ass, kind of. So take it as you will. But I think the Utahns are a little more prone to road rage because everybody will say that Utah has shitty drivers.
Okay, yeah, and real quick, jump back to your whale marathon. It was 630 laps.
630, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and they switched directions every hour.
Well, you don't want to get too bored.
Well, they didn't want their running left for 600 laps.
Yeah,
they didn't want that left those hips to get out of balance. Every hour they'd alternate back and forth.
That's dedication.
Yeah,
I'm not running a marathon around the whale at all.
I'm not running a marathon.
All right, I am going to try to hike to the top of Lone Peak, but we'll see.
Oh, that's an aggressive.
Yeah. I'm going to try. I've seen it.
How about a 5K around the marathon?
No, I don't. I just don't like running. If somebody says you want to run a marathon, I'm like, yeah, you lost me at run.
Mm-hmm.
How about walk a 5K around the well?
All right, I'm in.
Okay.
I'll walk.
No. Anywhere else I'll walk, but not around the whale.
I'll just walk west for 5 miles.
Come on, we can do it as a publicity thing for the show.
What kind of publicity will that get us? People will be like, look at these crazy
I don't
people.
know. The people that did a marathon made it to Reddit. Maybe we can make it to Yellow It.
Yeah. That's how we know we made it, is if we get posted about on Reddit.
Right.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like we probably have been. We just haven't seen it.
I'm not a Reddit fan. I don't typically.
It's crazy because Reddit is where majority of the news hits first.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I'll see something on Reddit and then 2 days later it's on the news. I'm like, oh. But
that's yesterday's news.
Yeah, but there's also just a lot of bullshit on Reddit too. Earlier somebody was the subreddit called Too Afraid to Ask, and so there's a lot of questions on there that people don't really want to ask their friends or their family, so they get really weird. But this one was like, hey, have you guys ever farted and the bubble came out the front? You were really afraid to ask that? That seems pretty normal, dude. Sometimes that happens. It's just an air bubble. You go anywhere. As long as it's not going into my nose, I'm fine with whatever. Speaking of gambling in Wendover, there's been in the news lately that Utah's trying to get the lottery.
Yes. Lots of hurdles, though.
What do you think about Utah having the lottery?
Depends. I'm all for it if it goes to the right places.
What are the right places?
School, education, teachers, parks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I think that's generally where it goes. At least they say.
No, it's going to offset the rising costs of property taxes and the fixed income.
In Utah
support.
Or in other places?
That's what the article says about the Utah lottery. Yeah.
Do you not agree with that?
No.
Why?
I think it should go towards education, schools, public parks.
Maybe patch some of these potholes with it so they don't have to pay so much.
Isn't that what our taxes are for?
Yeah. What's what getting your vehicle registered is for? That's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ches?
I agree with Laura. It needs to go, be beneficial more so to the schools, the education system.
Right. Would you buy some scratchy lottery tickets if we had them?
Yeah, occasionally. Yes. It wouldn't be...
That was so crazy about going up to Malad, when the lottery gets crazy. I don't think they have it in Idaho anymore, though, do they?
No, they do.
They do? Okay. But going up to Malad, you go to it's called the Chat and Chew, and it's the only bar.
Yeah.
Right? But you can go in there, and there's always this one lady in there that's paying for her drinks with scratch-off tickets. She's like, oh, I won. I'll take another beer and another scratcher. It's that would be kind of cool. I'm sure you lose in the end anyway, but
yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not like we do.
Me and some friends back in the day, we would go buy lottery tickets. They're in Malad, the little gas station. So we'd buy our, the Powerball tickets, and then we'd buy a bunch of scratchers. And then that's how we would determine how long we would stay there.
Yeah.
So we'd scratch them off, and whatever we would win, we'd go back up, transfer those into more tickets. And then
so you're already committed to spending all that money.
It's okay. It's this $40 is going to scratchers.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'll play scratchers until the $40 is gone.
Or I've won so much that it's ridiculous that to keep spending.
Dang, I got 15 grand. I'm not going to spend $15,000 on lottery tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely not.
It's okay. For this $40 is just here so we can relax before we drive home.
I mean, I like scratch tickets.
Yeah,
they're fun, kind of.
They are fun.
I
had them in Colorado when I lived there.
I don't ever expect to win.
They're fun if you make them fun. Most ever won was $1,000, I think.
Yeah.
They're fun if you make them fun.
Yeah.
There's people that just...
and
see if they win or lose.
But I think that happened last time we were down in Beaver Dam. There was somebody that came in and spent $200 on lottery tickets and then handed them over to the cashier and they just scratched off the back and scanned it.
Yeah, that's boring.
I guess if you want to know now how much you lost,
there's somebody with a razor knife just
but then
scraping all the crap off and seeing, no,
I think there's just a barcode on the back or whatever.
There is, yeah.
Plus, there's little cheat letters. So if there's an O, an N, and an E, you won $1. If it's an FIV, you won $5. They're like in different areas. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
You're obviously covered up.
They are covered up, but if it's like one of those, huge ones that is like crossword puzzle and it takes you 20 minutes to do it.
Those are the best ones.
I know
think,
they are,
right?
but then you don't know if you really won or not. So you have to look for those little letters. Oh, okay, I did win $5.
There is kind of a pattern to them, though, a little bit. Like the crossword ones, they'll give you a lot of letters, so you're scratching off a lot of things, but then there's always like one or two letters that just don't show up at all, that you have, that you need. So you can, as you're playing
it, W or a Y, or
as you're playing it, you kind of get the gist of whether you're going to win or not. But some of the holiday scratch-off cards were awesome, which this was hilarious. Is the holiday one specifically for Christmas? They had a whole special, line of holiday cards. But when they vend, they come with a to and from on the top of it already.
That's
but cute. I thought it was weird because if I was really your friend, I'd just give you $20.
So because we had them in Colorado, we got lottery tickets as gifts all the time.
But I mean, I'm giving you an opportunity to win more than $20, but chances are you're not going to win $20.
No, but if you do,
somebody needs some gambling addiction hotline.
I might.
But you might win. What? I can give you $1 million right now, or this mystery box. What's in the mystery box? It could be a boat.
What's in the box?
The boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Yeah, that's
that's one of my favorite lines from Family Guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get the lottery. Like you were saying, to get back to that.
Yeah.
The prospect of us getting the lottery is really cool, and I think scratching the surface of it sounds awesome, but the reality of it is that it's an amendment.
It is an amendment.
It's an amendment to the Utah Constitution.
Yes.
First, and then to get that approved, you have to get, what was it, 1/3 of all of the...
Or 2/3.
2/3 of the voting parties.
And then
the majority vote from the people.
The majority vote from the people,
Yeah, which...
It's a lot of hurdles.
I guess that's their nice way of saying you can do anything if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
But... I don't think we have enough people in...
I mean, it has the potential of, earning so much revenue for the state. If it's
does,
used in the right places.
Yeah, it does. Or you could just tax the church. I'm just kidding.
Or both.
Don't come after me. I'm just kidding. There's some lawyers scrambling at the moment. Curt, do you have Curt's Corner today, man?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sure.
Curt's Corner.
Curt's Corner.
I do love on the 300th episode that our guests were the first one that started.
I know.
Yeah. People know the jingle, dude.
It's a pretty simple jingle.
Hey, are you warming up to Curt's Corner a little bit?
Nah, whatever.
Yeah, he hates.
All right. Hit us with it, Curt.
There's a giant hole in the sun. Anybody hear about this?
I have heard about this.
Yeah, it's not really talked about in the media or anything like that because, this is a hole that's so large that 60 Earths can fit through it.
Really?
Is it just a dark spot or is it a hole?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Really, it's just a cooler surface, a cooler area in the upper surface of the sun that's looks like a giant asshole.
And how many Earths can fit in it?
60.
That's a lot of Earths.
Yeah, it's huge, but nobody's really talking about it, and the media isn't because what are we going to do about it?
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
What
There's
can
nothing
you do
we
about
can
it?
do about it. It's like we're going to get up there with some drywall spackle.
Can we send fire to it and just
launch a nuke into it?
Yeah,
like create the movie Armageddon.
The fire.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that this giant ass hole is emitting a super fast form of radiation.
Yeah,
and it happens to be pointed
at the Earth,
right at the Earth.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, we got a big massive galactic fart going on right now, and so the sun's been farting in our direction for about a month now.
Yeah.
Has the radiation hit the Earth yet?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure it has.
Oh yeah, if the light's getting here, that takes 8 minutes. So.
Well, it's a fart. So is it faster than the?
One thing that I heard that goes along with this recently.
That's the sweetest smell.
Super
galactic stank.
Yeah, it's thick. You can taste it. So one thing I heard is that the
mutant people then.
Nah, I think probably just your GPS might not track you as well as it used to. But that's what I was getting at is that the sun, they found out the sun has a heartbeat. Like every 5 years or something, it's at its peak of emitting.
11.
Every 11, you're right. Yeah. Thank you. It's at the peak of emitting its most like radiation and solar flares.
It's called solar maximum.
Yep, solar maximum. And what that does is it basically fucks with your GPS signal, and it messes up like cell phone signal. How? And it messes up satellite because the GPS are satellites, so they're not shielded by the Earth's atmosphere as much. So when it says your approximate location might be within like like 10 meters or something like that, or whatever, 10 feet. When there's high amounts of radiation hitting the satellites, it can confuse that. So your approximate location would be larger than normal.
Okay, so really random.
That would really suck.
Really random question about that. Because I was driving somewhere. I think I was with Drew, and you know how your GPS will show you what the speed limit is in the bottom right corner. At least mine does.
Yeah.
Mine said 77 one day.
I don't think that the GPS satellites are telling you what your speed is, but I don't know.
Yeah, but why would it be off?
I don't know. Maybe it just somebody accidentally fat fingered it when they were typing it in or something.
It was just weird.
But generally, that is a big old butthole. Sun butthole.
I'm not going to tell you what I think it looks like.
It looks like a sun vagina.
Thank you. Okay.
You just have to use the politically correct terms, Laura. You can't say other words you want to say.
I was going to say Japan.
Okay.
Well, now you made the joke real bad, dude.
Or an upside down South America.
Yeah,
it is kind of upside down.
Okay.
So what? That's just the calm spot on the sun now, because all the other parts are solar wind.
It's a cooler spot on the sun.
All right.
So it's a little bit less of temperature.
Known as a coronal hole.
Okay.
How's your cornhole, bud? Thank you. We got an Office Space reference. Everybody's reading. I'm like, dang. So,
it took me a second to laugh, though.
Just solar wind is what it says it is. So
it's just slight breeze.
Yeah, it's fairly common.
Isn't that crazy to think about, though? I mean, this is why I love Curt's Corner, because now we got to think about weird things like at any moment the sun can just decide we don't need to exist anymore.
Right.
And we wouldn't know it for 8 minutes.
We might know it, but we'd have to sit there for 8 minutes.
We'd be sweating for 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That's just the light part.
That's just light. Yeah, the solar wind is probably going to be slower than that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But yeah, if the sun goes out, we'd know in 8 minutes.
Yeah, we would know in 8 minutes. Unless there's like some satellite watching the sun all the time.
Well,
but then even then, if the light...
If the light went out, wouldn't we notice it as a eclipse maybe? Or
if the sun just stopped?
Yeah.
No,
it would just be flipping a light switch.
Oh.
And then we'd be fucking dead minutes later.
I think that you can read articles on what would happen if the sun just shut off. We wouldn't be alive for very long.
No, I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's scary.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to go to Mars.
Yeah, I think it's like the sun, instant freeze.
Yeah, pretty much. The temperature drops like crazy. That's why we're trying to go to Mars. So if the sun goes out, we can die on 2 planets.
Yeah. We go to Mars, we won't know for 12 minutes. Yeah. The sun went out.
I was reading something, or I was watching a video too, that somebody asked Elon Musk, like, what's the benefit of going to Mars? And he's like, well, we're depleting our resources, and on Mars we can fix the problems that we have on Earth. And somebody's like, well, what happens when you realize that people are on Mars and people are what cause most of the problems? We don't really solve anything. He's like, shit. Okay.
He's like, but we're sending all the people that are causing those problems here. We're sending them to Mars.
Escape from Earth. It's like it's the sequel to Escape from L.A.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the movie where L.A. is like a giant prison and breaks off from the U.S. or something? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a dumb movie.
Yep.
I was reading while we were talking about that, what caused the Ice Age. So I was like,
what caused it? A meteor?
No. A chain reaction of positive feedback triggered by periodic changes in the Earth's orbit around the sun.
Dinosaur farts. Dinosaur emissions.
Just the way the universe works is it goes through natural...
And then it said involving the spread of ice and the release of greenhouse gases works in reverse to warm the Earth back up.
Yeah.
And it shifts back to its
orbit. That's the theory behind Mars, too, is they're talking about... Because Mars has ice caps on it. Mm-hmm. They're talking about if you just heat up Mars, it will release more of its natural gas, which creates a thicker atmosphere, and then all you have to do basically is introduce life once it becomes... But then you need oxygen, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Breathing is important.
For most things.
So that's the key. Do you suck all the oxygen out of Earth to take to?
Yeah, you just make a big pipeline.
A pipe.
Yeah.
That's what we
A
would
huge
do.
pipeline.
Yeah. Man, the Earth to Mars pipeline is being...
Yeah.
It's under construction for 50 years, but
That sounds like a Futurama bit.
it does.
Like all these robots dressed up as old-timey pipeline workers. Like, working
Yeah,
out
we
in
should write
space.
Futurama.
They probably already have an episode
Yeah.
like that.
Well, shit, that's basically the premise for Spaceballs.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I need to watch Spaceballs again.
That movie's fantastic.
It is. Anything else?
No.
No? Do you want to talk about the boxing thing, or should we leave that for another day?
Yeah, let's do that for another day.
Okay, I think you're probably
Does
right
that
with that.
Wow, we went through 30 minutes already? That
Yeah.
fast?
We did. We're a little bit early, but I think that's okay. You know, it's the
Yeah.
first episode of 2024.
It is.
Happy New Year,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
If you did make resolutions, I don't judge you. Just try to keep
Yeah.
them. You know, do your best, and your best is good enough for me.
Don't be like a vegan and tell everybody.
And then eat a burger.
Yeah.
I'm so vegan, and then you go home and make a T-bone. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This has been your weekly insult.
It was funny. I actually saw a headline today that says, "You want to kill the most animals? Become a vegan."
Yeah, that gets into the same thing as like the drive an electric car, but you create more emissions by making the battery.
Yeah. And the electricity to recharge it.
Yeah.